All right, I'm going to just take you through day 2 of a strategy that I presented 2 videos ago, designed to get you as strong as fucking possible in the shortest period of time for whatever lift that you want to get better at. Give you an idea of what this workout would look like should you want to practically apply this information. So day 2 was the technique day. The purpose of this day was to develop inter and intramuscular coordination. You do this best by practicing the fucking lift that you want to get better at. So this workout just consists of 12 to 24 reps, roughly 18. You can scale it up a bit based on the way you're feeling, the way that you're performing. Gauge everything that you do by performance. If you can perform better and keep going, you have the free will to do that. If performance is declining, stop your work, go home, rest. You're defeating the purpose of doing what you're doing in the first place, and you're probably overworking your capacity to recover by doing so. You're going to do this work with 70 to 80% of what you could lift for one, and the way you segment the work is totally up to you. You have freedom to work within this structure. You could use the same weight for all your sets and reps. You could taper up or down. You could start at 70%, go up to 75, go up to 80. You could do a contrasting method where you start at 70%, go up to 80, come back down to 75. You could do a wave loading type of method where you do a set at 70%, 72.5%, 75%, come back to 72 and repeat that sequence, and you could do that all the way until you get to 80, so you get about 3 waves in there. You could do sets of 1 or 2 until you complete all the work that you're there to get done. You really have the free will to do whatever the fuck you want. That's the best thing about training with a strategy like this, is you have freedom within the structure to do what you want as long as you're doing it to the best of your ability and bringing the greatest level of focus, intensity, concentration, and effort to everything that you do. And that will determine how much rest you need between your efforts and how long your effort should go in the first place. Because if performance is declining, then you want to end the set. You're defeating the purpose of doing that at that point. If you were to do as many reps as you could in a set using this amount of weight, you'd probably get 8 to 12 reps. And if you did that and trained to failure, number one, you risk overworking your capacity to recover. Number two, performance declines. And if performance suffers, that's going to negatively affect the response that you're there to promote in the first place. So ideally, you're not doing more than 6 reps per set with whatever weight that you want to choose, as long as it's between 70 to 80%. Pick the weight that you feel you're performing your best with. Gauge everything by performance. So that's the workout. You go home after that, unless the next day is a scheduled day off because you have to work or there's a social obligation that you have to attend. In those cases, you have the option of adding one additional exercise to overload a muscle that might be a perceived weak link in the chain. So if your chest is weak in your bench press, you can do an isolation exercise following metabolic stress parameters. That's high reps, slow reps, minimal rest, not training to failure, just trying to pump the muscle, not overworking your capacity to recover. But if the next day you're going to move on to day 3 of the strategy because 2 days from now you cannot make it to the gym, so you're going to do day 3 the next day, then you don't do that here. You just go home after the work is done. So that's an example of what day 2 of this strategy looks like. You like the information, share it, click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel. Next up is day 3.